Welcome back to Skindeep Sessions. Today we're going to be talking all things facials. So Vanessa, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so a lot of people actually get confused with facials because there is two different types of facials, isn't there? So you've got the facial that is very relaxing, is pampering, and I call that the facial for the mind because that helps the mind.
Sort of switch off during that one.
Yeah, totally relaxing.
Something that's just like you need, if you've had a really, really long month or week and you're like, just need something to switch off and just absolutely relax, isn't it?
Totally put you to sleep, blow your mind. And again, it's using professional products so that the products on your skin are beautiful and they do have sort of certain benefits. But the main benefit of those facials is for the mind, I would say, not necessarily for correction or for the skin. And then the other type of facial that you've got is the one that we predominantly do here, is the clinical facial. Now the clinical facial is for everything basically, as in it's not going to be there to relax your mind. Most of the facials, I wouldn't say you're going to fall asleep in them. You unwind, and some people actually say to me, oh, that was actually nice and relaxing.
Some people have been like, oh, I almost fell asleep then. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not the sort of facial we would advertise to come in and chill out and fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know, it's more for things like you've got your acne, your rosaceas, your skin rejuvenation, your fine lines and wrinkles, your blemishes, your dry skin, your dehydrated skin. Those are all ailments that we can treat on the clinical side. And I think it's probably the right time to say now, we've actually just redesigned our brochure to suit this purpose because I think before people were getting a little bit confused, weren't they, in our facials?
Obviously there are 3 of us that do facials at the clinic here. Myself and Vanessa, we stick to the clinical side sort of the facials, whereas our other therapist, she is a lot more sort of holistic then. So,
and Jen has got beautiful hands. I mean, she does
she
the most amazing.
She puts you to sleep, doesn't she? Yeah.
Amazing massage hands Jen's got. You know, I mean, wow. You know,
So I think a lot of the time that I've sort of experienced, if someone's booked in for a recommend me facial, they'll come in and they'll be like, I want something relaxing or something like that. Whereas now we've kind of restructured it to be like, okay, if you want a recommend me facial, it's either a recommend me facial, a relaxation one, or it's a recommend me a clinical one, just so that people can sort of differ between the two to be like, actually I want a relaxation one, or no, I want something that's going to help this and this, or these are my concerns, you know?
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to, because before, say for instance you came to me for a recommend me facial or Zoe and you wanted a relaxing, we couldn't actually carry out that treatment for you because obviously that's Jen and her magic hands. Whereas, you know, perhaps if you'd gone, she's got the most amazing massage hands.
She's going to be laughing listening to this.
Yeah. Whereas if you'd gone to Jen and you were hoping to have microneedling then on your recommend me facial, then Jen wouldn't have been able to carry out that service. So I think by having 2 sections now, we're calling it Skindeep Serenity, our relaxing side of the clinic. So if you book anything from the Serenity side, you know that it's going to be relaxing. Whereas if you book anything from the aesthetic clinical side, then you know it's there to treat your skin.
Any concerns?
Yeah, so I think that's probably where we should start here, to be honest, though, isn't it? I mean, a recommend me facial. What is recommend me facial?
So I would say, book a recommend me facial. If you're looking at our brochure and you're thinking, oh, I'm a little bit overwhelmed about how many facials there are on this menu, you book a recommend me and you think, you know what, I'm going to let them decide. I'm going to let them look at my skin and advise. So that's what we would do. If you booked in for a recommend me on the clinical side, you'd come in, you'd fill in your consultation form, we'd make sure if there's any contraindications that could sort of contraindicate some facials that you may not be able to have. And then once you finish that, we will take a look at your skin and then advise what we think is the best course of treatment for you. Obviously, if you've never had a facial before, we might start you off on something a little bit more gentler than going straight into something like microneedling. But if you come in and you're adamant, you know what, I've seen microneedling, I want microneedling, then absolutely great, you know, absolutely fine.
Yeah, so we'll also, in a recommend me, we will also ask you what products you're doing at home. So it's on a recommend me, it's not just about giving you the facial, is it? So,
and that's a very important thing as well. Like, we can do the most we can here with facials, But unless you're doing your skincare and your work at home, there's not, like, it's not going to help you in the long run. You need to be doing these things at home and then coming for your facial, which will help sort of, like with microneedling, it's going to help penetrate and help your products penetrate deeper into your skin. So if you're not using anything at home, then it's just coming for your facials, then the results aren't going to be the best that they can be.
That's right.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like we were saying earlier, isn't it? It's like buying a car and not taking it for a service.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to keep it topped up. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to keep it in peak condition. And I often say to clients, because they, you know, one of the questions people ask is, well, how many of these facials do I need? And I say, well, actually, an average to get you kick-started is between 3 and 6 consecutive facials. But moving forward, it would depend on whether you're taking good home care. So if you're using good home care, I then say to my clients, well, really, a facial could be seasonal because the change in the weather, because you're doing everything at home and you're using professional products at home, so you're doing it yourself. So you're just coming into me, or Zoe obviously, and we're just checking, for a service, and we're just checking that the change in the seasons hasn't affected your skin, because it can do, you know, obviously with the heating going on, or the sun being out, the cold weather, the harshness. So, you know, that's the ideal aim for us, is to get you to be coming in seasonal, and getting you on the proper home care range.
Yeah, and if you are starting off, and we recommend you having a facial sort of 3 to 6 facials, they would be sort of every 4 to 6 weeks. So don't think it's like, oh, I've got to be in for a facial every week. It's a minimum of 4 weeks in between each facial, isn't it? And you can push it a little bit longer to sort of 6 weeks. We will recommend, if we think, you know what, you need one every 4 weeks, or you know what, you can push it to 6 weeks this week, or something like that.
Yeah, depending on your condition and the skin type, would obviously, you know, depend on the variation and how often we need to see you. And sometimes people come in and their skin's not as bad as they think. I think, you know, we're our own worst critics, aren't
100%.
we? You know, people are like, my skin's awful, and I actually, you know, disagree with a lot of clients.
I do too. I'm like, your skin is absolutely like, it's fine. Yeah.
So it will vary from person to person, as will, like Zoe said, the treatment menu. So we would write down. So when you come in, for example, then let's just say, for instance, I don't know, your skin's dehydrated, it's feeling dry, it's looking dull and sallow. Sallow is a big one. Everybody's skin seems to be sallow. Now, what we would do is, instead of just saying, right, this is the facial you need, it's really important to us that we allow you to have a facial that suits your budget. Because there is a different price range in them. Now, don't get me wrong, it might not be the better of the 3 facials, for instance, but it's more important that it's a facial that suits your budget, because you've got to be able to maintain it. There's no point coming just for a one-off random facial. So we tend to give you the options, and we will run through perhaps the top 3 facials that will suit the condition that you've come in with on the day, and say, right, these are your options. And then it might be that, you know what, this month's money's really tight, so we start you off on this facial, and then we aim to move you up. But then sometimes I find that when I do that, and they've had a couple of the lower price facials, that actually they don't need moving up, because the results have come
100%,
forward anyway and
I
presented
don't
themselves.
think that these facials that are on the lower end, price-wise, aren't going to be just as good for you as the ones on the high-end side, because they really can be. Like, you look at like a chemical peel that's on the lower side, and they're amazing. They are absolutely
our pH, I mean, there's a lot of chemical peels out there, and a lot of people are like, oh God, chemical peel, what am I going to look like? So first of all, the skin doesn't peel. Okay?
No.
It really doesn't. But just to clarify the difference with our chemical peels, and you can ask this to any, you know, if you're in another clinic, another salon, you know, the reason ours are so good is because we have a very low pH balance. Everybody can, you know, have a chemical peel, but a lot of companies have a really high pH balance in theirs, and it doesn't really touch the surface. Whereas because ours is real low pH balance, it really gets deep in there. And what happens then, if you haven't had a facial or you haven't been exfoliating at home, what happens is by having a peel, it actually gets rid of all that debris, and it allows your products at home to penetrate deeper. Whereas if you haven't had one, your products will just sit on the surface. So you might find at home you've bought a moisturiser or whatever products you're using, but if you haven't been treating your skin properly, then they're just sitting on the surface. They're not doing absolutely anything for you.
I think that is one of the main goals with facials. We want to clear off any dead skin, any debris, and we want to allow your skin to be sort of the best it can be to allow your products to get in deeper and do what they're meant to do.
The glower, the ultimate glower.
Exactly, yeah. So things like hyaluronic acid and stuff like that and retinol, like they are going to get deeper once you've had a sort of professional facial. Obviously you can exfoliate at home, which is great.
If you get the right exfoliator, though, because some of them on the, if you go to the high street, a lot of them have a very big grit in it.
Yeah.
And that is so harmful to the skin. It's not about the most coarsest exfoliator.
Yeah, I know it feels like it's doing something. Like
but it's not, it's doing more harm than good.
Yeah.
It's about getting the right exfoliator.
There's something that I always remember growing up. I used to see the pore strips on Instagram. You know the black ones that they used to put on the gel, and I was saying to Mum, I was like, I want to do it. I've got such bad pores here. I just want to get it. It'll be so satisfying. And do you remember what you said? You were like, that'll just rip your skin off. And I haven't touched one since. It's just things like that. Like they look good to use. But what you're necessarily doing with things like that is you're taking out all the debris of your pores, which is just a build-up of sweat and sebum and stuff like that. Once you take it out, it's going to fill back up. So it's like you've got to reduce the size of your pores and stuff like that to be able to get them,
And to be honest, if you're going to clear the pores out, you need to make sure that you've allowed the pores to open up naturally, so that then you can clean them up and then you can close them down afterwards, not just literally try and get the content out.
Yeah, because the only thing it's going to do is just refill back up later on, isn't it?
Absolutely, it really is.
Yeah, then your skin's going to be a lot more sensitive after ripping the skin off.
Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of facials out there, and like we were just saying now, a recommend me is the most fabulous one to come in for if you're unsure about what you want. And like I say, the prices of those start at £45.
Yeah.
We also have one, a recommend me with an in-depth skin scanner, and perhaps we'll do that live one day, the skin scanner, for everybody to see. Because what the skin scanner does, it's absolutely amazing, but you're going to hate it at the same time. It literally tells you how much collagen loss you've got, how much dehydration you've got,
sun damage. Oh my god,
it's amazing, but it's horrible at the same time. But yeah, perhaps we'll do that live one day. Perhaps I'll get you under it. So.
Oh god, so makes me look really scary.
Show them how you're going to age if you didn't have skincare.
Oh my, that was the worst one. I was like, no.
Yeah, so perhaps we'll do that. That'll be a bit of fun anyway. But yeah, so we have got the in-depth skin scanner as well, and that's really good because we use that a lot with people who had been taking the collagen, for instance, because that shows your collagen loss. And then people have been taking our collagen for a month and then going back under it afterwards, and it shows the improvement, straight away.
The thing is, a lot of the time with yourselves as well, you may be taking collagen, but because you're looking at yourself every day, I think we've said this before, because you're looking at yourself every day, you might not notice the changes. Whereas if you could scan your skin before and then after and notice the difference and be like, oh.
And that's exactly the same with facials, isn't it? Because people say, it's when other people comment, isn't it? Because you don't notice it yourself. It's like losing weight, isn't it? You don't notice. It's when someone says to you, God, you're looking good. And it's because you've been having these facials, but you don't, at the time, you probably forgot all about the facial. But yeah, it's about that, isn't it? It's about the comment people give you more than what you're perhaps seeing yourself. Because like I said, you're your worst critic. I get people coming in sometimes saying, I've got a massive spot here, or, oh my God, look at all these veins on my face. And it's like, I can't see them that close. I'd have to really get up and look at you, and nobody's going to come up into your face like this and see them. But I'm the same myself. I've got some red veins coming through now that I need one of the girls to get rid of.
No, I'm the same with my pores.
Nobody else can notice them.
People are like, no, your skin's lovely. I'm like, no, like my pores are really big, and I'm like,
your skin's beautiful. I mean, you've got a beautiful glow up, haven't you? But yeah, like you say, you have got large pores as well.
Yeah.
But we do treat it, so giving you that flawless look that you've got. You're lucky. I mean, you don't wear makeup at all.
It's all because this lady right here has had me on a skin routine since I was
9.
Literally, I've been using skincare since about 9, and I've been wearing SPF every single day of my life.
I think that's what you had, isn't it? It's SPF. I remember starting you off on SPF.
Just a moisturiser and an SPF. That was it.
Yeah, it was just to to protect your skin.
I
But
thought I had a great skincare. I just cleaned my face and then moisturised and SPF, and I thought I was,
the bee's
all
knees.
that. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's paid off, isn't it? Your
It has.
skin's amazing. I mean, you don't wear makeup. I mean, to
Barely,
be like
yeah.
that with, you very rare wear makeup.
Yeah, I don't really like to wear it
But
anymore.
that's proof again, isn't it? I mean, you have facials and you don't necessarily stick to one facial. You've had microneedling, you've had the hydro, you've had the carbon peel for your pores. You've had a variation.
I do like to mix up my facials depending on what I'm feeling is like my main concern at that time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking at my pores and I'm thinking, oh no, like they're looking a bit too big, I'll go for something like the carbon peel. Or if I'm feeling like, you know what, I'm really breaking out at the minute, my skin's just all over the place, I'll go for a microneedling. Or if I'm feeling like I just need something to feel glowy, I'll go for a hydro. Like I really just will.
And I think that's another thing, isn't it? I mean, when clients are on the bed, they always say to me, "What do you think?" And if I actually look at them and think, so you could have had microneedling in your last appointment, and you've come in this appointment, and I look at your skin and think, "Oh, it looks, you need something different today." I will actually say to the client, I don't think we should do that today. I think we should do this. So we're not shy in telling you what we think you should be having. And I think that's really important. That we advise people
I also
rather
find
than
that,
just going with the flow all the time.
Yeah, and a lot of clients also do ask what we'd recommend that they used at home, which is obviously a great question because there's so many things in the market that you look and it's so overwhelming. You're like, what is good and what is not, So,
absolutely, and I'm a big believer. We have a retail range here, and I didn't bring the retail range in here to sort of go into a sales side of things, and we don't put a markup on our SkinCeuticals products at all.
You can check online.
If you check their website, our prices are like peanuts compared to SkinCeuticals website. Now, I bought the range in to support people who are having facials and wanted a professional skincare range. And it helped us because it gave the facials obviously had better results because you were using the skincare range at home. But I always say to a client, because if you've come for Recommend Me, we will give you a trial 100%. Sample range of products to take home. And that's free of charge. That's just complimentary from us.
And I think people really appreciate that because products can be so expensive, not just like these, like our products elsewhere are really expensive, so being able to just trial it, I think that just,
before you buy, because
I
think as humans go, we're very gullible, aren't we? We see something on TV and it says, "Oh my God, that gets rid of your pores." Oh, I'm going to buy that. That's exactly what I need. We all do it.
Recently on TikTok, there's that white gluey powdery, not powder. It's the what? No, Shane bought it the other day. So on TikTok, there's been this it looks like a white gel. And you put this white gel over your nose and over your chin where your pores are, then you put these pieces of paper on there. And it's just a trend. It doesn't really work. It really hurts. And so
I didn't even
he bought it and I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my Lord. But we are quite gullible like that, aren't we? We believe what we see. So that is why we give a free trial of products so you can actually try it. And if you don't like it, you don't need to buy it. If you do like it, then obviously we sell it. But I also say to clients, you don't need to buy our products. I'm showing you what you need in your routine. So if you find a routine similar elsewhere and it suits your budget, then you buy it. But this is roughly what you need to be using on a daily basis.
We'll tell you, this is the type of serum you need to be using, or whether you need a gentle cleanser or you need one with a bit of acid in it, that sort of thing, just to give you a sort of head start,
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's really important, It's not about our products. It's about making sure you guys have got the right routine going on at home to suit your skin, and then I think you'd be happy to come back in then for your seasonal facials with us. It's teamwork, you and us. We have to work as a team, 100%, don't we?
100%.
Yeah.
So going on a little bit from that, we also offer facials for teenagers too.
Yes.
This is something just want to touch on because I've had a couple of people in the past sort of few weeks. They've come in with teenage acne, that sort of thing. So there are a few things that we do offer here as well for anyone from what age? From about 14?
Yeah,
from
yeah.
14 upwards.
Yeah.
That's when sort of hormonal acne
It
and breakout
is, yeah,
starts happening.
yeah.
So yeah, that's just something you like, and we want everyone to be aware of too. We offer facials for
But
14
with
plus.
the 14 plus, we do ask a parent to come in with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
obviously to sign the record cards and everything,
Yeah.
and because for safeguarding,
Yeah, of course.
we do ask the parent to come with them. But yeah, it's readily available, and again we do exactly the same. We advise them what we think they should be doing.
Yeah.
It's a very, at that age, it's a very basic skincare routine, but it's one that works. And then a couple of treatments, because most teenagers don't want to be coming in for facials.
But you know what it is though? I think a lot of the time it's just them knowing how to look after their skin at home. And I've had a couple of clients where they've come in for maybe 1 or 2 facials, and we've given them a bit of a routine, and then they've come back and been like, skin's amazing, skin's cleared up, it's great now. So it's like just sort of like educating like everyone, being like, this is what you need to be using.
Sometimes isn't it, it's a case of that you know what your children are like, but they won't listen to you. Whereas when they come in and we tell them, you've probably told them already, but when we say it, they kind of
they're like, oh, okay,
they listen to us, isn't it? Mum's never right. Never.
Well, you are.
Always.
Always. God.
Always. But no, I think just to recap on everything. So there's 2 types of facials. You've got your relaxing one on the Serenity side of Skindeep. You've got the clinical side on the aesthetic and clinical side, and they're both fabulous.
Yeah.
All our facials you can book online, and we do recommend me facials on both sides. So we do recommend me on the relaxing side, because there's lots of facials on there, I have to point out, and there's a lovely new one coming out at the moment, and it's not a facial, it's a facial massage. So it's just pure massage to the face. And I think,
that is sometimes everyone's favourite part of a facial, is just having your face massaged. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So Jen's doing that. So she's brought out a new one, which is just pure massage. So yeah, if it's relaxing you're after, you can book a recommend me relaxing one, and Jen will guide you through and see what you want there and how it suits you. If it's the clinical side, then both myself or Zoe we'll sit down and write a plan for you. We'll also, if it's something we feel our facials will not give you the best results, say we think that it's perhaps something Sarah, the nurse, needs to get involved in, we would recommend that perhaps you had a free consultation with Sarah, and we would probably go through the options that are available to you there as well.
100%.
But in short, we will do a nice programme for you, and hopefully it'll be teamwork, and we'll get you, 9 times out of 10 we get the results that you want from us. Realistic results, I mean, not the non-realistic ones, and we do try to be realistic with you. We will be honest if we don't think we can reach it. There's been a couple in the past where rosacea has been really hard to target, and it just varies from person to person. And I just want to explain that in January we're bringing on a new brand called DMK, and DMK is an amazing company, and it's very clinically driven, and the results for rosacea are really, really good. I'll probably do a talk on it nearer the time, because we're both going off to London now to do some advanced training on that again. So we'll do some more talking on that, but that will be more very deep clinical, so that'll be more for your acne and your rosaceas that are more deeply set in them. So we're forever advancing ourselves,
always.
And if there's any conditions you've got and you think we can't treat, or we're not treating, then you know what, guys, let us know, because we're forever wanting to upgrade and keep training.
We're always looking for the next
keep the brain
thing,
ticking away.
There's always something new coming to the market, so we're always trying to keep up on what that is and trying to get trained in it and making sure that we offer it here, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. There we are.
Okay, well, thank you all for tuning in again this week. We will be back again next week with another episode, so hit the subscribe button and keep up to date.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.